If it's off-label, they can link them over to a medical science liaison and they can step out. Number of different ways of handling off-label discussions, but there's a lot of ways to serve that physician so that they always get the precise kind of content that you want to make sure is available to them, either directly or through a triage to higher level sources. It's a very simple type of system. We stream the rep, so the doctor, while they're on the phone, sees a video of who they're talking to. It's just a reassurance. I get to know that person a little bit. They basically share a slide deck, and then there's resources. That rep then can open up web pages. If you want to open up e-sampling to a doctor, the rep can open up the sampling order page, walk the doctor through how to register for that, and be able to order samples. If he wants to take them to a, say the doctor's already seen the slide deck and he's coming back and you don't have new data, that rep can open up a key opinion leader presentation, say, hey, the guy who just did our clinical trials, he's got a really good video presenting the clinical data. Let me show you about it. Click on here and they can go off and do that. The rep is the concierge to that physician, given the proper set of tools behind them, and the content can be done very economically. We have some partners we work with, a lot of great content partners that produce excellent stuff. It's getting eyeballs to it, and this facilitates doing that if the rep's not the ideal person for delivering that educational content. So you have the full flexibility of all of the content that you may want to make available to that physician. They usually have a printer right next to their computer so they can print off patient ed materials, they can print off reprints, they can, while they're talking to your rep. The rep in the field, using, as long as they have internet hookup and a phone, the rep in the field can log in and they can take calls from doctors in their geography. We have a sales force that's rolled out now that actually has hybrid reps where a couple of days, 1 or 2 days a week, the rep just logs in, sits at home in their office and takes calls from doctors that we route to them. And it allows them to be able to provide higher level of service without even leaving their office. And it gives you a lot of ways for the rep in the field to participate in this also. Now, part of the key is we recruit physicians or offer them these educational opportunities where the physician goes. We have 450,000 physicians who are accessible through 35 partner sites or own sites that we have, where when a physician comes in, passwords in, we know who they are, we know what to offer them. If you have 5 different programs for Dr. Jones and they come into a site, we can say, Dr. Jones, here's some educational opportunities that we think might be of interest to you. If they click through, they're linked right to the rep, they're linked right to the content, and that way we can constantly provide high-value content in the same environment that they're going to look for that educational content on their own. I have icons that are embedded on a desktop of 180,000 physicians where they can click on it and open up, and there's like iTunes for medical education that includes a full set of our programs. And then there's some other sites that we also have some little icons that doctors are going to regularly right there on their desktop. And we are making these things available where the physician goes online most frequently. We want to make sure they trip over your opportunities if we can. They sign in, and then we present them with the educational opportunities in a text link kind of format. It's similar to anything they would see in the CME environment, that type of thing. It's what they're used to in the way educational content is presented to them. It can be in their newsletter that they get every morning. They open it up, read news of the day, and there's a couple of educational opportunities in there, and they can link on it whenever they want. We want to be where they are and how they go online to put your stuff in front of them so they trip over it. Now, what's interesting is I started, I think, the second e-detail in 1998. And the biggest problem was physicians weren't online. We could never make it scale. Every doctor, every pharma company who did an e-detail said, why am I only getting this small number? I want big numbers. I want to really have an impact in my marketplace. Now, for the first time, we are seeing numbers that are suggesting that we can get mass scale. And here's an example. This is Manhattan Research reporting that almost 45% of physicians reported that they did an interaction with a Merck educational content offering in 2008. Now, 45% is a lot of docs. It's a big scale. Now, the rest of the industry, unfortunately, hasn't scaled. Some of them are our clients, and they just don't have very big call centers, so we can't drive a lot of traffic if I have a small number of reps. But the reality is, when given the opportunity and the capacity to have it serviced and other kinds of archive content, we can drive big numbers. And we're starting to see that physicians are willing to engage with content that's sponsored by pharma on a big, big kind of scale here. And this is really the first time that we're seeing big numbers of this magnitude. What's also good about it is that individual rep can be linked into the back of your portal, your websites, anywhere that you have content available. You can put a little button that says, if you'd like more information, click here. We authenticate them, and we can get them right to a rep. And the rep knows who they are and can meet their needs across an array of brands that they can support. What it gives you is the opportunity, again, for that physician to be served on anything that you think is clinically important for them to know about. You can open up a range of these services. And we have a partner, streaming video partner back here, Stream 57, who makes incredibly effective key opinion leader presentations that we could put a whole set of those together and drive traffic to those. They can come back on their own occasion whenever they want and think of the educational values. We've seen one of our examples where it was a 25-minute video. The average physician spent 16 minutes on that content. So think how much learning there was in those kinds of environments. And we think that kind of content combined with live, combined with other types of resources can be extremely compelling.